Damn.
But you gotta come and submit those drug trucks. Let's go!
I like that.
40,000, 3 million, 18,000, $4 million, 40,000,
Mm,
40,000. Too much. Too much. 40,000.
what's your screenshotting? What's your screenshotting?
Nothing.
Screenshotting. Nothing. Nothing.
Kevin, what's your screen fucking? Nothing.
I get seasick, but I'll take it. I make smart
Wow,
money.
that's so long.
And you were still dumb enough to go out the next night? You deserve to get killed.
Kilt?
Cute.
Oh, this is what I interact with. Was that there the whole time? Was that like his trading card? Or like something? He's like business card or something. He's like left a business card. Like, yo, you know who I is?
Oh, my dick is sweating.
Yo, Kevin, what happens if, what's it called?
He's walking. He's like that type of walking towards me. I'm dead.
Yo, Timmy's sad that Molly's hanging out with this dude.
Really?
Nice.
Nice.
No, he said he wanted to fuck this girl from our school before, when he was here at the time. And now he's gone.
Damn. Rip.
He's like disabled. He's just a disabled froggy. Duck you off. And this one is for the champions.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I guess you're not a champion then. I told you long ago on the road. Kevin's twerking up that ass.
Get copyrighted for him.
Well, I'm not really doing anything. Because technically I'm not playing the song. If I sing it, it's different. I can be like, I told you long ago on the road. See, that's
So,
different.
you wanna help me out in this Gambit match?
You want to help me out with me being paralyzed?
Sure. I'm gonna watch on YouTube. Just tell me when you're
Would you be mad if a girl asked you out?
No, I'm so happy and wanted.
What happens if like the girl was like, ew, you didn't say no? I would have went out with you, but that's kind of gross. You're weird, and then she left.
I'm really damn.
Kevin, you like
Oh
turtle?
shit, I've been abandoning matches. Yeah, I've been placed on a cooldown for abandoning matches. Damn, I gotta wait 3 minutes.
Why would you want to make this man mad?
Why would you twerk on Kevin's asshole that bad?
Why would you want to make this man mad?
Why does Kevin want to? Why does Kevin want to twerk that ass up really bad?
You don't keep going to the market. You turn your. Can I turn? I can't move. Okay, now I can move. Or not. What was happening?
Kevin, would you fuck a turtle?
I look down. I look up.
No.
Can I just go home? I know it says go to the market, but bitch, I ain't stupid. I'm about to just go back home.
Bitch, I ain't grassy.
Oh, you can run now. Oh boy. Well, get ready. Get ready. Where you at? This guy's coming.
What the fuck? Oh my god! That fucking
Kevin, are
scared
you in the
me.
candy shop? Kevin, are you in the candy shop?
That fucking scared me, bro.
Kevin, are you in the candy shop?
He's killing me.
I'll take you to the candy shop.
Kevin, what happens if Andy wants you in his candy shop?
I don't even want to look. Well, guys, why would I go back to the market?
Because the market needs cash.
This man is still on my. Hurry up. Hurry up. What? What's good? How you doing, bro?
He did. He got the bad ending. Do we see the other
Kevin, you got the
ending?
sexual ending?
There's a good ending?
We did a bunch of work early on looking at various different types of weapons we could add to the sandbox. It's hard to find a new role that fits into that without breaking anything, but we throw stuff at the wall, see what sticks. And we found that the glaive was sticky.
Yes, it was. It is a projectile weapon, and it is a shield, and it's a melee weapon all at the same time.
You can just destroy stuff. That's really satisfying.
Yeah, it's a whole cocktail of absurdity. Adding anything new to a sandbox, it's never not going to be difficult.
It's kind of amazing to think how many development
Then we got
a
zombies.
designer
Who
dedicated
Easter eggs
just to the
like
play for
Hera,
almost a year, like
Maled
6 months
Dick,
animated time, a ton of engineering
Victor.
supports.
And it's so
Easter egg.
different than we thought it was going to be from the
Oh,
outset.
yeah. The amount of iteration that went into this resulted in something I think is really special.
When we first started running playtests with it, they were way too strong. And that's a good thing. That's a good problem to have.
You need to know how it's going to break things in addition to how it's working. And one of the best ways to do that is to send a whole bunch of people into a big map and go, hey, try and kill each other in the most ridiculous, absurd ways you possibly can.
Like, look at this. You're not really playtesting if nobody is being an insufferable little trash goblin.
It's my kind of play style. I like getting into the face.
It's a thing that I feel like doesn't get talked about enough. The importance of breaking whatever it is you're working on in order to make sure that it's functional and that we can ship it in a healthy way.
It's very fun. I like meleeing that fast.
We had a bunch of folks playing through using the glaive and listening to them come out of that playtest and be like, wow, I felt like a badass. We knew that we were going in the right direction.
Kevin, you feel like a badass?
Up to this point,
Like a
our
black. Kevin feels like
primary melee-focused weapon
a.
archetype
Kevin feels like a
has been
black
swords.
ass.
We pull the camera
I feel
out to
very
third
bad.
person
Like this
because a
guy.
lot of time, you're
Well, you don't
taking
have to
really
be
big
black.
swings that are
Like,
going to hit things
you
that
could
would
just be
outside
like
your field
as
of view
your
in
neighbor.
first person.
Hmm.
The glaive is a much more focused, much more directed thing. I mean, it's a pole arm. You're holding it. It is very clearly pointing in a direction. So we wanted to keep that experience in
Kevin, you look pretty plastic. I don't like
It
that.
has an immediacy that I think
You don't
would have
like
been
that?
lost if we were
You
exclusively
look
in
very
third person.
plastic.
We had an idea
Thank
of
you.
what we wanted it to be, and we knew we could get there. And after a year seeing it, it's like, oh, of course we did that. We were aiming at the whole time, right? But it's not something completely
Cactus.
new and completely unique.
One of the things that I think is so exciting about the glaive is it's the kind of weapon you could only find in a Bungie game. It doesn't exist outside of the Destiny universe. It's this thing that someone said, okay, we love the high fantasy influences and we love sci-fi. Let's mold those two things together in this thing that's like part lance, part fusion rifle, part shield. And it comes together to create this experience that you can only find in Destiny.
This thing is awesome. A sword, a gun, and a shield all at once. It's just something we're really excited for. I can't wait for players to get their hands on the glaive.
Well, this guy, a giant floating meatball, exactly like the one you fought at the end of the Forsaken campaign. And here's the thing.
This shit's old as fuck.
Special primeval boss is
Fuck you. I'm trying to get to Malfeasance for this
No, it's talking about
token.
this.
or you can spend 12 hours farming Gambit and not see
Greetings, Guardians. My name is Bife here again. This is something like the third office change that has been done recently with regards to audio stuff. I know the audio in a video recently was pretty busted. That's actually not so much to do with the office thing. It's more to do with the fact that I had to get that edited out quickly, and it seemed fine at first, and then, oh god, terrible sound issues. Apologies for that. Martin is busy editing Dynasty stuff, so yeah, he wasn't able to come in and correct my mistakes, and in my bid to get things out quickly and make sure I can continue working on all the stuff, quality fell behind. So my apologies for that. That's very much on me. Meantime, though, it's just a quick disclaimer for everything audio-wise. We have a long video ahead of us. Just looking at the script alone, I had started making notes on the story, and it turned out that the notes ended up being 10 pages worth of stuff on the script, and so I was like, you know what, maybe note form is fine. And then, of course, I looked at it again, and I was like, oh yeah, there's a reason for this. Because if I didn't do note form, this would be as long as the Clovis Bray series all put together. So, I mean, that makes some sense, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, so earlier I put a poll out on Twitter asking for some opinions. Namely, I wanted your
Let's
opinions on whether or
go.
not I should cover the lore-based content of the Witch Queen's Collector's Edition. I don't have mine yet, but for those of you who do have the Collector's Edition, you will know that, as is common with Destiny Collector's Editions, it comes with additional lore and story, as well as cool gadgets to solve the commonly used pre-release ARGs. For Shadowkeep, this was the records unearthed by Eris and the Cryptoglyph puzzle. For Beyond Light, this was the Journal of Clovis Bray and the Splinter of Darkness, which had a Morse code puzzle as it was pulsing. Because if I didn't do note form, this would be as long as the Clovis Bray series all put together. Your opinions on what? For Shadow of Darkness, which had a Morse code puzzle, paper lore, and yeah, it really does depend. Compare, say, the Shadowkeep notes from the K1 expedition, which all but basically states that the darkness and the one spoiler warning for the contents of this book. As a note, well, yeah, it's actually not too spoiler-filled, but if you want to go in absolutely blind, then go for it. However, if you don't mind mild notes which are somewhat related to characters in the Witch Queen expansion, I would actually recommend that you watch this video, and the reason I say that is because, to the best of my knowledge, none of the stuff being touched on here actually pertains directly to the Witch Queen, and it pertains a lot more to characters around the Witch Queen. So with that disclaimer out of the way, with people having probably left, if they are someone who cares about any kind of spoiler, I can tell you that the book revolves predominantly around Ikora and her character, and almost in no way mentions Savathun, which is really interesting. Mentions a lot of other stuff around Ikora, but yeah, it seems like it's very much a nice attachment piece, but it's something that you might be able to read without it spoiling you, so that's nice. I also wanted to go ahead and use this as a moment to refresh everyone on what the policy is for spoilers on this channel, which has remained unchanged for the last few years, ever since I took a look back at things during Forsaken and was like, yeah, we should really not do this. So, to give everyone an idea, if it's publicly released or if it's in a trailer, then yeah, it's fair game. This is something that I will cover. If it's a leak, I will not cover it. I am putting that out there so the people who do believe that covering a trailer would be a spoiler, you guys have a chance to leave. Having said that, again, good luck staying unspoiled in that case, because the trailers have been out for months in some cases, and yeah, I don't know quite what you're expecting on things. Bungie is kind of preparing for everything going on. Yeah, I don't know. That's all you do whatever you want on that one. What I'd also say is that there is some stuff I want to talk about with regards to campaign content and how that would end up being covered. I will be covering most of the core campaign content. I don't want to leave anything particularly spoiler heavy in the thumbnails, and I will be designing thumbnails to be nebulous whilst giving everyone a vague idea. Of course, every video is going to come with a spoiler warning, and where possible and where necessary, a week after the video has been released, I will make an updated version of the thumbnail, which then will allow people to recognize that yes, a certain period of time has passed. You have had an opportunity to play through it. This is now something that you can play at your own discretion. Yeah. The only other thing I think I'd touch on is the raid and where that lands us, because with the raid stuff, we're going to very clearly be looking at taking all of that and then maybe only giving a smaller amount of time in terms of the grace before we go ahead and make a full lore video on that. They take time as is, so it won't be out on the day of. There may be some small video content that you get, but the likelihood is that that will be the first priority when the raid has actually been finished, but not much else. I'll say this too, I feel much more confident in saying that I would launch the raid video at the beginning of the next week if possible. And the reason I say that is now we have 10 days to prep for the raid, contest mode is enabled, and it's on the weekend. Thanks to the power cap situation and everything that Bungie has changed, the raid is now a lot more accessible for everyone. And whilst before I would have gone ahead and given everybody a full week, now I'm going to go ahead and give until the end of that weekend, until I go ahead and actually start talking about it. It would have been more in the past, but now I genuinely do believe the raid is more accessible, and especially after content releases like this, it's something where the expectation to keep things unspoiled is dramatically lessened because more people are actually in the raid on day one doing the thing and finding out about it. If not, they're all watching on Twitch. So with all of that being said, yeah, this is how we're going to be doing spoilers. It's not changed dramatically. I just feel like some of the content is a lot more accessible, and we will be going ahead and doing stuff. Anyway, I'm so sorry for taking up about 6 or 7 minutes of time talking about how we're going to handle spoilers and all sorts of things, but I figured it was worth bringing all of that to your attention. So, without further ado, let's talk about the main cut and thrust of the video today, which is actually talking about the lore from the collector's edition of Witch Queen. And the lore of this all really is predominantly talking about Ikora Rey, who looks to be one of the main characters of Witch Queen going forward. And it covers the concept of how you truly know the truth, know yourself, and can know someone else. And that is really quite an important topic when Savathûn is all about lies. And I think Ikora provides a very interesting and strong foil in this series of recordings, thanks to everything that's been set up with her character. There's about 20 or so sections worth of messages that you get within the entirety of this book, and so I want to break them down section by section, and I don't want to go through all of it in full detail. So I'm going to pick out the key bits, the bits that I thought that were most important, but if you really do want all the detail, which I am not going to be able to fully summarize all of here, yeah, go ahead and actually read the thing when you get it, or find the transcript. Before I start also, I want to go ahead and thank everyone over at r/raid secrets for going ahead and actually compiling all of this and throwing it up there. My buddy Weston, who is also a Peasant Guard member, went ahead and grabbed me the full transcript of this that Raid Secrets had uncovered and put together, and yeah, thank you very much for all of that, because otherwise I would not be able to talk about this, because mine is not right, because UK shipping. Yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and start. The book begins with a sort of prelude from Ikora and tells us that it's going to be messages from her and from the perspective of other people which really reflect on her. She gives us the impression that she's going to give us the unvarnished truth about herself, not just by telling us about herself, but also by giving us unedited accounts from third parties. The first of these messages is what we're going to jump into, and there's about 20 of them.
The first is from a hidden member, the first of many hidden members, and this hidden member is called Chalco. They are mentioned in the Vesper of Radius lore tab. This is a warlock exotic. One of Ikora's oldest friends, that's what Chalco is. And Chalco talks a lot about how ghosts without guardians in this entry pity the Hive because the darkness manipulated them and enslaved them, essentially. And that's not a turn out of phrase. Genuinely, they have to kill and they have to fulfill the desires of the symbiote worms within them, or they will die. Chalco essentially comments on the idea that Ikora and they have become distant, and that at times they don't know if they actually know Ikora that well anymore. Chalco then declares that if ghosts begin to start testing moral parameters or whether or not it's right in the moment to resurrect their guardian, that they'd be in incredible trouble. The moral dilemmas in particular extend when mentioning the Hive, because apparently single ghosts in the field without guardians pity the Hive for the reasons just discussed. Also, Chalco comments on the nature of the friendship that they had with Ikora, and makes notes that whilst they are distant at times, they have a degree of friendship which means that they are able to speak honestly with each other and without any intent to insult, and yet are able to be deeply and truly honest. The second message retells the first calling of the hidden, which you can actually see in the Dragon's Shadow lore tab, at least in its basics. However, this expands so much more on that 7-point creed. For those of you who don't know, because I realize I've mentioned it a whole bunch of times, the Hidden is basically an organization of intelligence gathering of sorts. Ikora runs the organization, and she herself is a hidden agent, but hidden agents report to her, and they all apparently follow this creed in order to better accomplish their job. The 7-point creed is noted as find thyself, know thyself, destroy thyself, shed thyself, embrace a new skin, become the many. We are unseen, we are as dead. As the code and the creed is read out and each of the notations is given context, Ikora goes ahead and mentions in extra notations what happened to her in her younger days and what she learned from each of the teachings, or why she should have been using some of the teachings earlier. Ikora reveals that she took part in the Great Hunt and killed the murderous Ahamkara known as Azarim, who was responsible for an awoken massacre in the gardens of Asila. You can read up about that in the Dreaming City lore book, or alternatively, you can find one of the Shuro-Chi patrols that gives you a little bit more context in the Dreaming City. There's also a later point where it's revealed that Ikora went ahead and was continuing to take part in the Great Hunt, but would have almost created a wish that would have collapsed reality into some kind of paradoxical space where everything would have been annihilated. And she was saved from this by Wei Ning. Wei Ning saved her in the most Wei Ning way possible. For those of you who don't know, Wei Ning is a famous striker titan, one who was killed by Crota, lover of Ariana 3, lots of different titles, but ultimately she's very much known for being the titan that said, if I punch a mountain hard enough, and enough generally, it's going to move, even if the move is very imperceptible. So it maybe is not a surprise that Wei Ning saved Ikora from making this terrible wish that would have collapsed reality by punching her ever so lightly in the head, that she wasn't killed, but she was knocked out unconscious. So that's a very Titan solution to things. Ikora genuinely did seem thankful for this, though, because, again, this is one of those moments where Wei Ning prevented her from doing something that would have terribly collapsed reality. Also, the creed of the hidden and all the notes that Ikora makes there expands a lot on her ghost, Ophiuchus, I think. I'm not 100% sure on that pronunciation. I'm pretty sure that someone else is going to correct me down below in the comment section. But I'm going to say Ophiuchus for the remainder of this video until I can remember it or until I know better. The third message that goes on is a small transcript between her and Zavala, and there'll be a follow-up to this later on as one of the other messages. It shows that Ikora is following the light in a certain way, and it demonstrates this by her and Zavala playing a game. And I think the game is Go, given Ikora's mention of a Go engine in this. It also seems to make sense with the size of the board that's being mentioned. She decides that instead of playing the most logical move possible in order to attain victory, that she wants to explore new possibilities within the game by taking the position of 6x24. This, I think, is actually kind of a mirror of the Gardener's attitude to the Winnower and the Gardener's attitude to the Flower game. For those of you who don't know the deep lore, basically this is analogous to the earliest sort of philosophical and actual conflicts between the light and the darkness. Zavala is looking at the game and says, this is the absolute way I must play because this is the way that delivers victory. But Ikora is looking at the game and wants to know what new possibilities and new spaces can be discovered by playing in a way that is different and is not made to guarantee victory, but might arise with victory at a later date through unknown means. So Ikora is very much imitating the light in this instance. Message 4 is a series of messages from a not-so-new hidden agent designated as True 135, aka Truce, one of Shax's heroic fire team of 6 that defended the city at the Battle of the Twilight Gap. Previously, Truce has commented on goings-on in the outer reaches of the system, namely with the Cocytus Gateway reports and the reports on the goings-on of the Leviathan before it left the system. It appears that now Truce is leaving reports on the behavior of Stasis and how it's been getting weaker. I think it's kind of obvious when you go ahead and read this, but...
What are you doing? Crazy baby.
Faro.
Crazy baby. Got my phone. Down. Down. What are you doing? Blah, 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 blah.
It's my birthday today.
Your birthday?
And
What?
can I ask a favor?
Oh, no.
There. Mom, we'll be back soon, Mom.
Oh, Dad.
What's going on?
Sad.
Nathan? Nathan!
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, big guy. Happy birthday to you.
Dad. What the fuck?
We sat down to you, Daenerys. That's right.
Apparently, you guys are chipmunks. Being that.
Oh, squirrel.
Yes.
What are you doing?
I am talking to Hakon.
You hear me normally, right?
Yeah.
Like, nothing wrong with my voice?
You sound like good old Delirious.
I think the only reason you can understand me and you don't think I sound different is because I sound like a squirrel. This is what squirrels sound like.
What do you mean? You sound like a squirrel. What the hell does that mean?
Sound like a squirrel.
You got some nuts in your mouth or something? What's happening?
Possibly.
You do you.
Do I sound normal to you?
Yeah, you sound completely fine.
Okay.
Alright.
Hear that, chat? Sound normal. Boy. Oh God, better learn how to. Stand the fuck up! Yeah, oh my God, come down here and fight me like a human. You know so. Yeah, there we go. You have been defeated, little zombie. You've been defeated. Take down, motherfucker! Take down!
Which was only a few weeks away. A lot.
Yo, would you scream for me?
Faro is your, Faro. Faro is your, I'm about to call this man. Faro. Faro. Faro.
You're fat. Who said that? Wait, the name is... Okay, I was talking... I wasn't talking to you guys. Stop. It's a big deal. It's a girl. Stop making this a big deal. I wasn't talking to this. Okay, are we really not going to be immature about this? You didn't even whisper it, but you still did. You just said it so loud. You looked at her and you're like, you're fat. And they left immediately. How was I supposed to do it? They're overreacting. You had one thing you had to do, and it was to whisper something. You didn't whisper anything. You just said, you're fat. What are you doing? What is wrong with you? Don't look straight up. Awful. Nobody's seen this before. It's only my top speaker working. The Crystal Reed Holy shit. My God, I can see foam shooting out of my bottom speaker. I gotta go play that video again. I shit a big brown juice out of my forehead. Hey, J-Mac, can you make my subtitle purple right now? Thank you. J-Mac, put 220 bitches in my J-Mac, on Larry's now. Put 220 bitches in my J-Mac, add the explosion on Larry's now. Everything must get the fucking
Holy shit.
I'm gonna exit quietly. What's the difference between a priest and a pimple? Yeah, Isaac. Cut that out, man. You're a bitch, Isaac. Yeah, the voice crack was what did it. I laughed at Isaac laughing. I'm sorry. Nah, bro. Nah, bro. Hey, girl. I'm sucky. His first L. Swinging a whole ass. Oh, we're not getting the bottom half of the face anymore. Huh? Larry? Relax, brother. Larry?
Jumbo fart.
What were you trying to hold in? What was the punchline? Okay, there we go. So the subscribe up here, it's up on the video. I don't think right. Let me see if I can find the thing. Okay, there we go.